Welcome back to Universal Devils, and I hope you guys are staying safe and doing well. We are bang in the middle of an international break, and things get quite a bit boring around this time of the year. Especially, this is, I think, the second or the third international break already, and it's not even November. But we decided that we're going to do things a little differently, and we're going to have something different besides the regular old nonsense of who's signing a contract, who's fucking off from the team, who is doing what, all that nonsense. Honestly, guys, do you really care about the Nations League or any of the international matches that are going on right now?
Nope.
Oh, really, mate? To be honest.
That's my whole point. And I'm pretty sure the ones who are watching right now don't give a fuck about it. So what we're going to do is, today I'm not joined by two guests. In fact, I'm joined by two managers. And they're going to take in their teams to compete against each other. Manchester United's Premier League, all-time 11. And it's going to be fun. Are you guys looking forward to the next 15, 20, 30 minutes?
Yep.
Let's do it. To confirm that since 1992, right? The start of the Premier League.
Yes.
That was the first year? Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Just to clarify, guys, for you both as well as the viewers, that we're going to be picking in the players according to their prime. So it doesn't matter. Like, for example, Brian Robson. We might say that his prime would have been a little before the Premier League started, but that doesn't mean that we're picking the Premier League's Brian Robson, if that makes sense. We're picking all these players according to their prime. Cool? Works?
Yeah. And based on their United performances, nothing else.
Yes, based on the United performances and nothing else. And it's going to be very simple, guys. You're not going to use your brains too much for it. These guys are definitely, but you guys don't have to. We're going to start with a basic, simple coin toss. And for the ones who cannot, so I don't really know if you can see that. That's heads.
No, because that's not to the camera.
And that's tails. And I'm going to ignore David right now because I'm not really showing it to them. All right, are you guys ready? Who's going to call it?
Luke. Go, Luke.
Okay, one second.
We'll go for Reds, mate.
What the fuck? Heads. Okay, fine. Yeah, cool. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Call it.
Heads.
Okay. Oh, fuck
I
you.
feel like this is
That's heads.
only fools and horses.
You won.
Boise moment. Did I win?
Yeah,
Heads.
you won.
Nice one.
So you get to decide who
Love
goes
it.
first.
David to go first. They kick us off.
All right, then.
So David, you're
Cool.
going to be shooting against the Stratford end right now. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Go for it.
You don't want to tell anyone what we're doing, like formation?
All right. Formation and all. So this is how it's going to go on right now. These guys are going to one by one talk about their team. For example, David is going to start off. He's going to let us know what his formation is going to be and then what his defense is going to be. And in that defense of the defense, he's going to talk about why that defense is good enough to beat Luke's. It's not that confusing, really. David, go for it.
Okay, well, the goalkeeper, it's one of three people for me.
Formation first.
Oh, yeah, of course it is, yeah. My formation is a 4-2-2-2. So it's going to be 4 defenders, 2 central midfielders, 2 wingers, and 2 strikers. That's probably the best way for me to fit in the best United players, personally. So my goalkeeper, for me, it's between one of 3. But I'm going to go for Peter Schmeichel. Doesn't matter to me that he moved to Manchester City. He, in my eyes, won us points so many times with amazing saves, and it doesn't matter that he had Bruce Pallister, Riddick. No, he didn't have Riddick. Sorry, Bruce Pallister in front of him. It was good. He was still, in my eyes, the best ever goalkeeper that not United have seen, but United have seen also. Right back, it's got to be Gary Neville. Not just because he hates Scousers, but for me, he's England's best ever right back. Also, people can argue it, but for me, without a doubt, he always wore his heart on his sleeve. I mean, the Liverpool celebration always comes to mind when he got booked for celebrating in front of the Scousers. But hey, left back, I'm going for the Premier League's best ever left back in Dennis Irwin. Some people can argue it's Ashley Cole. you're deluded. It was Dennis Irwin all day long. He could play right back, right foot, left foot. He could take a sweet free kick. He could take penalties. He had everything in my eyes. And then the centre back partnership. I'm going to go with two that I would have just loved to have seen play together. Different eras, though, unfortunately, and that would be Stam and Vidic. For me, both rocks at the back. They were never afraid to stick the head into a challenge wherever the ball was, if it was low on the floor, high in the air, and them two together would have been so. They would have just been amazing in my eyes. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it, but I think them two together would have been absolutely amazing.
So to sum it up, David, for you, it's going to be a 4-2-2-2, and your back five is going to be Peter Schmeichel in goal, Gary Neville, Stam, Vidic, and Dennis Irwin. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Luke, on to you.
So for me, I'm going to go with just the traditional flat 4-4-2. I think that's probably the formation in my years of watching football where Manchester United had it probably our most success. Goalkeeper, I'd love to change things up, just to be difficult, but I can't see past Peter Schmeichel either in the sticks. Van der Sar had a really good, how many years was he with us? 5 or 6? Maybe a bit more even, but...
Oh, about 8.
Was it? Oh, wow. Peter Schmeichel, some of the saves that he pulled off, like when Manchester United were, up against the ropes, the only reason why we're kept in it was because of him. Right back situation, exactly the same. Gary Neville, it's impossible for me to look past him. Left back, this was really tight. I'm also going to be boring and say Dennis Irwin. Again, that's my era, and he was... put aside the penalties and the free kick taking ability and just I think Ferguson said he had one bad game once, and he knew it as well. And when they had a chat about it, it was just a one-off bad game that in his whole time at Manchester United. So he was a great leader as well. So Dennis Irwin, but the two centre backs, I'm going to go a little bit different. I'm going to say Vidic and Ferdinand. Reason why Ferdinand over Jaap Stam is because I think that in the advanced positions, I think Ferdinand came through the ranks as a striker, and he did show that ability, like against Liverpool a couple of times actually, once with his head and once top bins with his right foot, I think it was.
Left foot
was it? Yeah. There you go. So,
cutting in and
yes.
Yep. So I'll go with Dennis Irwin, Gary Neville on the left and right. And then for me it's Vidic, who was an absolute brick house, and Ferdinand at the back.
Moving on quickly, David, now to your midfield situation. So you're going for a 4-2-2-2. So what's your midfield pivot going to be like?
Am I just doing the two central midfielders? Or
just the two central midfielders.
Okay. The two central midfielders, I mean, we've had some great central midfielders through the years. We've also had some absolute terrible ones. But I'm not going to bother about the terrible ones. Paris, stop laughing. I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking, and but my central midfield would be Paul Scholes, without question, our best central midfielder in my opinion that I've seen anyway. He could play up top. He could play number 10. He could play central midfield, and he was just fantastic for us. Even when he came back from retirement, he came back from retirement and still helped us win the Premier League title. So for me, he was fantastic. And when he left, it wasn't just we didn't play poor because Ferguson had left. We also left because we'd lost the key man in our central midfield in Paul Scholes. The other one, people won't agree with me here. I think everyone's expecting me to say Roy Keane, but I'm not. Roy Keane for different reasons why I'm not picking him. I will admit Roy Keane for us was a great player, but since he's left United, he's become bitter and an arsehole. and this is why he doesn't get into my team of the year, team ever. That's because I know we say based on what they did with United, but I'm sorry if you can put other players in the team, but because of what they went on to do or did, doesn't get into it. And I'm sorry, but anyway, I still think that this player was better than Roy Keane anyway, and it's going to cause a lot of controversy. But I'm going to say Michael Carrick. I thought, nah, not Fred. Nah. He's good, love. He's better than Keane. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Besides, imagine it in the crowd. Carrick and Scholes on the same team with him singing the same songs. Yeah, but no. Yeah, Carrick just when Ferguson retired, Carrick took over that midfield. I mean, he was doing it since he joined the club. He took over the midfield and he was helping. But once Ferguson left, he was like the leader on that pitch that we needed, along with like Wayne Rooney and stuff. And for me, he didn't get the goals and stuff. But Carrick wasn't the goal scorer. He was more defensive, and at that point, we needed that type of player in Carrick, and that's why Carrick will get above Roy Keane, in my opinion.
Luke?
2 centre mids. So this one was tough for me because obviously I've gone with a 4-4-2. A part of me did want to go with a 4-5-1, and I'll explain why in a moment because I wanted to try and squeeze an extra midfield in there. But Paul Scholes and Roy Keane. Paul Scholes, phenomenal player. His vision. He's just an amazing player. Every player, like, you know, you hear like Zidane and Fat Ronaldo and that all talk about Paul Scholes and how good he was. It's impossible to not put him in your team, in your dream team for Manchester United. So Paul Scholes. For me, Roy Keane. It's just a aggressive, tenacious leader in the middle of the park that I think Manchester United lacked for so many years. Probably overstepped the line a little bit here and there. But I think, you know, the game against Juventus, his performance, even though he was not going to play in the final, is exactly the sort of like leadership that Manchester United have lacked for many years. Not just that game. There's been many a times when I think that he's really led from the front and made sure that, you know, those games when you're 2-0 up, or 2-0 down back then, in that case, comeback kings back then. I really think that he made players pull their finger out and, you know, really grind out a result. So yeah, Roy Keane and Paul Scholes in the middle of the park for me. The 4-5-1 situation, I was going to say I wouldn't actually mind getting Jason Park in there as well. If I'm thinking from like he was just, yeah, you know, you listen to what players, Rooney, I think, came out and said something about him, like being one of the key players to, you know, them winning the Champions League and the Premier League and many trophies over that sort of 5-year period. I'd love to squeeze him in the middle of that park. That was my option, but because of certain 2 wingers, I had to.
We're gonna get to that. Just to hit on a point right now, this one is for Luke. Moving on, like both of you went for like Carrick and Scholes and Keane and Scholes, both world-class midfield partnerships. That's the kind of balance. It's not even about the players. That's the kind of balance that you would want a midfield, a championship-winning midfield to have, right, Luke?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got Paul Scholes pulling all the strings with his passing ability and, you know, dangerous around the edge of the box with his shooting. You've got Roy Keane in the middle of the park, making sure that every single player is, you know, performing at their very best and they're not giving an inch of space to their opponents. I think Paul Pogba would walk off the field crying if he played next to Roy Keane, to be honest with you. I just think that those two are the perfect balance in the middle of the park. That's why I was saying, though, I wanted to sort of go to a 4-5-1 and get Jason Park in there for his engine, a real box-to-box sort of midfield player, Roy Keane, who stays a little bit further back, and then Paul Scholes in a free role. To me, that midfield, give me that now. Oh, I'd give my left nut for that, mate. But I just think that those two complement each other very well. Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, played together for many years, won many trophies. I just think that's a really good balance.
David, moving on to your attacking midfielders, wide attacking midfielders. Go for it.
See, this is where a lot of people see. Okay, I'll start on my left because that's easy, and that's Ryan Giggs. Personally, I couldn't even pick a second player to go in that position. For me, I know he was there from like 92 to 2014.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah,
Retired in 14.
Yeah, 13, 14 when Moyes left and Giggs took over as manager. And then obviously we've only had 7 years since, but he wasn't playing every game. And to me, there's nobody that I would rather have on the left from the Premier League era, from United, on the left for me. That's the easy option. On the right, I think my midfield by picking Keane and my pick for the right is going to make me lose this, but I'm going for David Beckham over Ronaldo. For me, Beckham was. He had his free kicks. I've not seen anybody as good as David Beckham when crossing the ball. Nobody. That goes from any United player to any player in the world. And he was great for us from day one. When he started, I'm not saying day one when he first made his debut. I'm like when he first became a first teamer after his loan at Preston and stuff like that, and he was getting more and more in the team. And it was a shame that he left and stuff like that. And then obviously Ronaldo comes in, and I'm not saying that Ronaldo wasn't good for us. I mean, he has only finished one season with us without a trophy, but his first 2-3 seasons with us, he let himself down a whole lot because of his falling over a lot, and until Ferguson told him to book his ideas up and stuff. And I'm not saying that Ronaldo doesn't deserve to be in this team, because he does, but Ronaldo for me had 2-3 good seasons, 4 good seasons with us. Beckham had 7-8 with us, and I know obviously Beckham's there longer, but Beckham was, for me, he was a key part in our success. In like 99, I mean, he should have won the Ballon d'Or in 99. He was completely robbed of it, and he was fantastic. He came back after the World Cup in 98. He got abused from all the away fans, and he literally just stuck 2 fingers up at him, told him to fuck off, and came back and won the treble with United. Not many people could have done that. So I like Ronaldo so much, but unfortunately Beckham is on my right. So Beckham on the right and Giggs on the left.
Luke?
Ryan Giggs on the left. I don't think that's in any question. Again, phenomenal player. He was one of the best. Watching him in his prime, actually on the ball, run at defenders, really got you off your feet. I used to love, when I used to play football, trying to emulate my style. A lot of people obviously were trying to be Beckham. I used to love watching Ryan Giggs, dribbling in and out of players. He could pot a good ball in as well. He actually had a fucking hell of a shot on him as well, to be completely honest with you. Can't see past Ryan Giggs. I actually really can't think of anyone else. I know it'd probably be Rashford the next one, but yeah. I don't think you can't give Rashford it over Giggs. Like, think how many titles Ryan Giggs has won. You know what I mean? Hopefully one day we can reverse that and say, yeah, Rashford, because he's won so many titles. But let's see what the next 10 years holds. Yeah. Look, the right side, always a tough one, because I love David Beckham, but obviously I'm going to go the opposite here and Cristiano Ronaldo. That season he had when he scored, what was it, 42 or 43 goals?
46, I think.
In all comps, was it 46?
Yeah.
I thought it was 43, but hey, look, some of those goals were just ridiculous. Like the one against FC Porto, was it Porto or Sporting, where he just cut in, and Ferdinand was screaming, don't shoot, and he did. Like, what the hell was that? Like, you just, and that bang, 1-0, like that could be a game easily when we draw in the group stage.
No, it wasn't. It was, I thought it was knockout.
It was
knockout.
knockout.
Was it knockout?
Yeah, because quarterfinals or something it was.
I think we drew 0-0 at home or we drew, and then we went to Porto and won 1-0, and we were the first British team to win in Porto, and it was thanks to that goal.
Yeah. And just I think back to those games. There were some times where I feel like, not fully single-handedly because of the players that we had then, but there were times like when we were 2 down against Spurs where he just had that. You could just see he was in the mood. He was running at players, taking shots from anywhere, and you think it could go in. Some of them would. He'd score goals. I just think Ronaldo was just a generational talent, which I loved. I could not wait. It's just like when he had his second debut for Man United, I could not wait to watch. Watching him in his debut against Bolton, like, just changed how like the perspective of football for so many young people, like myself included. I remember watching him when he came on, and suddenly it was just like you used to like the dazzling Ryan Giggs to now like, who is this? Like, what is he doing? He did go down a bit easy. It used to annoy me as well, especially when you want to be biased, but then you see replays and you're like, my God, that's embarrassing. But the stuff he used to pull off, I can't personally look past Ronaldo for the right side.
So guys, we are right now moving on to the last segment, in the sense that we're moving on to the attackers, and we have about a fair share of 8 to 10 minutes left. David, what is your attacking pair? The strikers, I'm assuming.
I'm going to go with our all-time top goal scorer in Wayne Rooney, and my partner for him would be, in my opinion, our best ever striker. Best ever striker, best ever captain, and 100%, no question, our best ever French player for the club, and that is Eric Cantona. Unfortunately, Patrice Evra is a close second. But no, Rooney, I don't think anybody could leave. I mean, when me and Luke were picking the players, we picked so many strikers that could be in this team. But Rooney, I mean, I forgot how 252 goals for us, I think it was.
253, yes.
It was amazing. I mean, some people can complain about his contract negotiations at times, but what he did on the pitch, amazing. Yeah. I was lucky enough to be behind the goal when he scored that wonder goal against Manchester City, and to be there and to see that live right behind the goal was fucking amazing. And my other pick is Cantona. He was just, for anybody that didn't see Cantona play live, you've missed out on massively, because replays, videos, YouTube, it doesn't do it justice. EA did this kung fu kick, and I think what he did was fair. I think the fan deserved it. But then we did miss him, and then he comes back against Liverpool 4 minutes in or something. He sets up Nicky Butt, and then he scores the penalty to equalise. And then at the end of that season, the 95-96 season, I think the last 10 games, I think we won 6 or 7 of them 1-0, with Cantona scoring the winning goal in every single game. That is how much Cantona was valuable to United. Now, I'm missing a lot of top strikers out, but for me, Cantona was your all out-and-out player, and for me, the best player. He goes down in my eyes as the best ever United player. I don't care that he only scored 85 goals for us. He was fantastic. The only season he didn't win the league with us was the season when he got suspended, and that's because the FA screwed him over. But I know we're running out of time, so I'll best let Luke tell me his.
No, go for it.
For me, Wayne Rooney's in there as well, the all-time scorer for not just Manchester United but England. Especially prime Wayne Rooney and what he's done for Manchester United. Again, watching him, just like Ronaldo, you just couldn't wait for kickoff. We were so privileged to have, not just Wayne Rooney, but Ronaldo and Rooney play together with the likes of Giggs and Scholes. Fucking hell, man. Those were the days. So Wayne Rooney has to be in there. You could always bank on Wayne Rooney scoring a goal for us. Wayne Rooney's playing, you almost count it for a goal, or definitely a couple of assists, more in his earlier years for sure. The other position for me, I understand what you say about Cantona a little bit more, but again, I was very young at sort of his peak at Manchester United. So for me, it's Ruud van Nistelrooy. He didn't actually win. I think he only won one Premier League and a couple of other cups, like a League Cup and an FA Cup. Should have won more, but he was definitely in a sort of a transitional period for Manchester United back then. I think he was in the team where we just came out of 3 years in a row where we didn't win the title.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Yes.
we just come out of that. And if he didn't have his fallout with Fergie, he may have been around for a few more titles. But we know what Fergie was like as soon as he fell out with a player. So
Yeah.
I just, Van Nistelrooy was a breathtaking striker. Like there was just like that goal he scored against FC Basel where you're like, you know, surely he's going to pass this across the face of goal to someone else or something. And it's suddenly just the ball's in the net. Aston Villa were 2-0 down. He comes on with like 8 minutes to go. We win 3-2. It's just,
Fulham.
to me, Fulham. There's just so many goals I can think of with Van Nistelrooy where he's just that fox in the box. He just creates it, and it was just amazing in front of goal finisher that you'd bank your life on to score a goal. 99% sure I'd score a penalty as well, bar Arsenal. No pun intended. That's my picks. Rooney and Van Nistelrooy.
Well, Van Nistelrooy was a great pick. I admit his goal scoring stats to his games was absolutely amazing. So yeah, but this is what I was saying. There were so many decent strikers, and we hadn't even talked about 50% of them, I'd say. So this is why Manchester United is one of the best clubs, because some positions are easy to pick, but then you have those so many difficult positions that you're not sure who to pick, and you won't get a lot of people agreeing with everybody's decision. And that's what makes this so good.
So you guys can see both the teams are in. David and Luke are ready for the final battle. They are each going to get 1 minute. I'm going to time it, guys. You can't go beyond 1 minute to explain the reason why your team would beat the opponent's team. Are you ready? David, you're going to go first.
Okay.
Take a breath.
Go.
Here you go.
Yep. My team is going to beat Luke's because, in my opinion, it's got the best ever captain in Cantona. He was a massive leader. I've also got Peter Schmeichel in goal. I know he has as well. But he'll control the defence and the midfield. Cantona will control also the midfield with his mouth. But for me, Rooney and Cantona will just work together as a gem. Beckham and Giggs have worked so many times. Beckham's crossing, Giggs is crossing, Scholes' fast balls, Carrick defending. Literally, I think my team would beat Luke's simply because mine's better. Cantona, it'll be 0-0, and Cantona will pop up in the 89th minute with a cheeky little chip over the keeper's head and win it. That's it.
All right, you're done. Basically 15 seconds left to go. 1 second. And fair enough, pretty confident. It's as simple as that. Luke, 1 second before I start your timer. Good to go?
Good to go, mate.
Go for it.
Let's go. Sweet. So for me, the reason why I think my team will beat David's is when I think about the team that I've picked overall. It's such a well-balanced team. Like, obviously, Peter Schmeichel was the same as what you've picked, David. So, you know, complete control of the defence, leadership at the back. We've also got Rolls-Royce, Rio Ferdinand, who, you know, was very confident with bringing the ball out into the advanced positions with Vidic supporting him. Obviously, the same wing-backs with Dennis Irwin with his crossing ability, Gary Neville as well. Cristiano Ronaldo, an absolute match winner, probably score from 45 yards out, 1-0, my team win. You got Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, his leadership ability, Ryan Giggs in his prime, you know, dazzling Ryan Giggs, and then you've got Ruud van Nistelrooy Fox in the box and the tenacious all-time record scoring striker for Manchester United. Wayne Rooney up front, ready to score a winner or score a beautiful bicycle kick to win the game 2-1.
Hang on time. I have to choose a winner between both of you right now, and sucks. I don't want to be in this position anymore. I don't want to choose. I was supposed to pick a winner.
It's tough. The reason why I just, with Van Nistelrooy, I think Rooney and Cantona are quite similar in ways.
Number 10.
Yeah, that's what makes it like. I'd love to, like, if it could ever happen. Of course, it couldn't. But when Rooney and Cantona playing together would just be a dream to see. But I think, like, if I was to be a manager and I had, those strikers of capabilities at my hands, I'd want to choose Rooney or Cantona to play with a Van Nistelrooy. That's just how I feel. Yeah.
It's tough.
It is.
Out of curiosity, you had part 3 songs in your team. Which one of them would you have been sacrificed for?
I would have sacrificed Van Nistelrooy.
As I was talking about that, I could not really pick a winner, and the viewers, the ones who are watching this, can please pick a winner and drop it in the comment section. Guys, any last thoughts?
Luke first.
I can't wait for the weekend. Can't wait till football's back. Manchester United versus Leicester, big game. Straight into it. Ollie under pressure. But I can't wait. I feel like this is it. We're going to come back. We're going to win 2-1.
David, you share the same optimism.
I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of people happy on Saturday because Fred's not playing. We all know that because he's playing in Brazil on Friday. But there's one person that is going to be the key on Saturday in my eyes, and that's Marcus Rashford. And there's going to be, should he start, should he not start? In my eyes, starting. Not just because it's Rashford, he's a Wythenshawe wizard, but one of our weakest positions this season has been on the left. So why wouldn't you put him in? It's not, I mean, Sancho, he could possibly play Sancho on the left because he did play a good game for England, but he was only playing Andorra. I think it was anyway. I didn't really pay much attention. But for me, Rashford has to go straight back into this.
Well, he does love him. He might do it. I can see it.
Yeah, hey guys, this stream might start lagging again, and this is something that we will get into in the preview that we do a little later in this week. So I think let's just call it a night, call it a day, before we have to cut it again short, right?
Thanks, Paris.